Uh-oh, man. Uh-oh, yo, people about to be raging, guys. Any single time I see a negative title and then I see Derrick Rose in the thumbnail, I'm like, yo, people are about to go full-on rage mode, man. Like, flame shields up. We have another article by my boy, Joshua Driscoll here. Top 15 NBA players who will be jobless next season. So, we're going to go through all 15 of these players here. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on if I think that's true or not. And if it is true, I'm going to explain why it probably is true, okay? So, here we go, man. Top 15 NBA players who will be jobless next NBA season. So, number one, we have Joakim Noah. And let me just say straight up, guys, I hope this dude gets his bitch-ass contract just bought out. I feel so bad for Knicks fans because I know when you guys signed this person, you were probably like, yo, this is going to be like the energy guy that is going to play alongside Porzingis, be our starting center of the future or the foreseeable future. And, you know, he's been ruled by injuries. I believe he was suspended due to, like, some sort of drug issue. And he has so much of your guys' cap space eaten up right now, which could have been used towards other, you know, maybe all-star free agents or somebody like that. That would have allowed you guys, you know, to put some nice pieces around Kristaps Porzingis and really make some extra noise this NBA season. I think you guys have done a good job so far, but Joakim Noah definitely holding the team back. So, yeah, I mean, I don't see a team giving him a chance, and if they do, it better be on like a $1 million contract or something like that. Moving on, we have DWade. Okay, so I actually got to read the reason behind this one. I mean, DWade, he's been a nice, you know, little backup player, I think, to the Cleveland Cavaliers this season. Yes, he's getting older and stuff like that, but it says after coming into Cleveland with people expecting him to revive the unstoppable Miami Heat duo, DWade was moved into a six-man role shortly into the season, which I think he's done pretty good at, guys. Like, I think it makes sense just because him being, you know, not really the greatest jump shooter out there, especially at this point in his career, he's gone off the bench and just, like, you know, he's led the second unit. So I think he definitely did some pretty nice things out there. It says he recently turned 25 and will most likely retire should Cleveland win a championship, which I don't think Cleveland's going to win it this season. But, you know, honestly speaking, I would actually love to see him go back to the Miami Heat and retire there. Even if he played like one season as like a sixth-man or seventh-man off the bench, that would just be cool to see, see him return to the place that he played so many great years at. So, I don't know. The only way I see Wade being jobless next season is if he retires from the game of basketball, just because I really do think at least in a bench role, he has a lot to give to a championship contending team. It's just not really working out all that much in general with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Next up, we have Udonis Haslem. Honestly speaking, guys, you Miami Heat fans, you gotta tell me straight up, man. Has Udonis Haslem even been, like, playing for the Miami Heat? I really do not even remember him since, like, you know, the LeBron James, Dwayne Wade days. Like, I've not really seen him play all that much. I mean, at this point, yeah, he's 37, so I do love that he has played his entire career at the Miami Heat. Now, the only way I could see him being jobless next season is if just like Miami's just like, all right, man, we're ready to move on from you. You know, you're taking up a roster spot that could be going towards a player of the future, and then him just being like, okay, I really don't want to play for another team. I'm 37. I made my money, and then retiring. So I can definitely see that. Number 12, Michael Carter-Williams. Oh my God, guys, how the mighty have freaking fallen. Like, I remember his days on Syracuse, where they ran like this crazy, I believe it was like a 3-2 defense or 1-3-1. It was something like that with Syracuse. And then he of course, was drafted, I believe it was by the Philadelphia 76ers, right? And he was like playing so great for that team. And he looked like just a future superstar out there. I mean, he's like a 6'6" point guard. He was doing a little bit of everything out there. And then he just fell off like crazy. Like, it was really sad to see. I know he got traded, and he just really never like found his legs again in the NBA. I don't know, man. Like, honestly speaking, I don't think people talk enough about how disappointing that is. Like, to be rookie of the year and just, like, completely fall off the radar. So, I really don't know how it happened either. Like, he just got bad at basketball. All right, next up we have Pau Gasol. So, Pau Gasol is currently on a 2-year, $32 million contract with the San Antonio Spurs. So, it's like, you know, I mean, maybe if he decides to retire, but at the same time, it's like when he has a contract next season, I don't really see how you can list him as jobless just because I mean, he has a contract, so it's like, unless he retires, then I don't know if I really agree with this one all that much. Yeah, he definitely is not the same player he once was. A lot of that is due to age. I mean, he was never, like, an amazing defender anyway. Always a decent shot blocker, but when it came to, like, on-ball defense or post defense, not really the best at that. Just was really never a huge part of his game. So, yeah, I mean, it's like, if he retires, obviously he'll be jobless because he can't really go to a different team because he's still under contract. But I don't see him, like, stepping aside from $16 million, especially, you know, it just... He already has the money in the bank, right? So, yeah. Number 10, Stanley Johnson. This dude ain't gonna be jobless, but you know what? He gonna be in the freaking A, B, C, D, E, F, G league out there, man. I don't know what they're gonna name it next season. I know it was D League, then G League. Now it's gonna be like some probably other league out there. This dude needs to go straight up to the freaking bitch-ass league, just because, like, I don't know, man. Stanley Johnson, as a Piston fan, is so freaking upsetting to me as a player. I really just cannot stand him at all, man, like, at all. So, yeah, I would love it. I mean, no, I will say, I do hope he's successful as a player, just because, like, I don't really wish that on anybody. But, yeah, the way he's been playing, it's like he doesn't belong in the NBA currently at the moment. Next up, we have Ginobili. Yeah, Ginobili, I believe, is he on a 2-year deal? Because he might be on, like, a 2-year, $5 million contract. I don't see him play another season, especially if, for whatever reason, I don't see this happening. You know, there's talks of, like, Kawhi Leonard no longer wanted to be a Spur or anything like that, but I don't see anything like that happening. Yo, Loki, man, if Kawhi Leonard was just, like, completely just like, yo, man, I don't want to be a Spur anymore. Imagine if Cleveland offered that Brooklyn Nets draft pick for Kawhi Leonard and, like, some other trade out there. That would be absolutely crazy. LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard on the same team. Maybe even toss, like, I don't know, like a Kevin Love or something like that. Oh, my life, dude. I would love to see that. But, yeah, Ginobili, it's like, for being 40 years old, he's still freaking, like, contributing out there, it seems like. But yeah, I do see him probably retiring after this season, or, you know, maybe coming back in a very, very limited role. All right, next up we have Brandon Knight. Yo, man, the only memories I have of him as a Pistons fan is him just getting dunked on or crossed over by multiple NBA players. DeAndre Jordan, Kyrie Irving got them freaking ankles one time. It's just like, I think maybe Tim Hardaway did too. Maybe not. I could be thinking off of that. But yeah, Brandon Knight's already having issues out there. I know right now he's, you know, nursing a torn ACL, so that's never a good thing for a player that was already really not all that great anyway. I mean, maybe he has some sort of NBA comeback, but I could see him maybe going overseas too and maybe trying to rejuvenate his basketball career over there. Next up, we have Richard Jefferson. Yeah, I was low-key a little salty when the Cleveland Cavaliers got rid of this dude. Not that I'm a Cleveland fan, it's just because, like, I don't know, man. It was fun watching. I've never been, like, a huge Richard Jefferson fan, just going back to the rivalry between the Detroit Pistons and New Jersey Nets. But at the same time, it's like, I know he was really good friends with, like, Channing Frye and stuff like that. So when he got traded, it's just like, oh, man, they lost their best friend out there. So, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, he's getting kind of old, too. So, next up, we have Joe Johnson. Okay, so you all gotta tell me, man, straight up, Utah Jazz fans, does Joe Johnson even currently play? Because I know, obviously, Donovan Mitchell starts. You have Joe Ingles, is how you say it, Ingles, I don't know, man. You also have Rodney Hood out there, so is Joe Johnson even playing? I feel like at this point it might be time for him to retire, so yeah, I could definitely see him being jobless next season. But that's like the discombobulation, is that a word, that I'm getting from this article, is like, by jobless, do you mean just like not deserving of a roster spot, or do you mean just like, hey, it's time to retire? Because that's kind of my route, is a lot of these guys, it's like, yeah, if they wanted to continue playing, I think there's definitely room for them on certain NBA squads, maybe not in a huge role out there in a few cases here, but I think a lot of these guys can still ball out. Number 5, we have Derrick Rose. Yeah, this one's interesting, guys. I don't think it would be Derrick Rose because he couldn't get a roster spot. I think it would be multiple reasons, as of, like, for one, maybe an NBA team would not want to deal with his drama. Maybe they're not really sure how much he's worth. At the same time, Derrick Rose might just be jobless because Derrick Rose no longer wants to play basketball. I mean, we already know what's in the back of his mind all the time, that he's afraid to get injured again, which makes completely sense, man, because, like, if I freaking tore my ACL or MCL or shattered my knees a billion times, I would be freaking scared as hell to play basketball. Like, I think about that right now when I play. Like, I'm not athletic at all. I don't even freaking jump when I jump shoot, man. I'm a freaking set shooter, and I'm freaking 5'8", so yeah, it's not good, guys. My jump shot's not bad. It's ugly as hell, but it's definitely not bad. So I could definitely see that being in the back of his mind, where it's just like, yo, for me to be a good basketball player, I have to be somewhat athletic and drive to the basket, because I'm not really a good jump shooter. But at the same time, every single time he goes to the basket, he's probably like, yo, ACL, you good down there, bro? So yeah, I can see that happening. Number 4, we have Tony Parker. Yeah, it seems like, I believe the Spurs are starting DeJounte Murray now. You also have Patty Mills. I mean, Tony Parker, his NBA game in general just isn't something that translated very nicely into old age. He was always a player that would attack the basket. I mean, he was always a decent mid-range shooter, never an amazing three-point shooter. And it's just like, his game was athletic-based, like, you know, being quicker than everybody else. And as you get old, you just take a step back. So, yeah, I mean, could he be like a six-man, not a six-man, but a backup point guard on certain NBA teams? I'm sure he could. Would he want to, you know, leave the San Antonio Spurs? I don't think he would at this point. And I don't think he would, like, settle for a different role on different NBA teams. So I think the Spurs are probably ready to move on and close the window, Tony Parker. But yeah, I think it's definitely, you know, well justified too. Number 3, we have Jason Terry. Yeah, I haven't really heard about him in a long time, man. Like, I know he was a beast on the Dallas Mavericks. And then, you know, the past few years, I know he's on the Milwaukee Bucks right now, I believe, and just really not doing that much. Another thing where it's like, yeah, he can make the three-point shot out there. He's always going to be a good three-point shooter. Like, that jump shot still doesn't go away. Like, I bet you freaking Del Curry or Steve Kerr can still, you know, lay it up from three-point out there. But when you lose that athleticism and just that ability to play defense, you know, some sort of respectable defense against, you know, the opposing shooting guards or point guards, depending on what position he's playing out there, it's just, you know, the three-point shot, just being able to do that just no longer, it's not really worth the trade-off of really bad defense. So yeah, I could see him probably retiring or just being jobless next season and just kind of like, you know, sitting in the waiver wire. Maybe a team would pick him up, but probably not. Number 2, we have Vince Carter. Yo, Vince Carter, man, this dude is still freaking dunking and throwing dunks down like crazy, and it's like, oh my god, I cannot believe. Like, this just goes to show how athletic Vince Carter is. And I might even go on the record and say he's like the most athletic player of all time, from start to finish. I'm not saying all time, like, just in general, from start to the end of his career. Like, this dude's still dunking on people, man. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, while he still gets buckets, he's on a team that's not very good. Next year, he's going to be 41, and it's just like, it's probably time to hang it up, unfortunately. Although I would like to see him play in that Ice Cube, Allen Iverson Big 3 League. That would be kind of cool to see. I think he would probably do that, too. And number 1, we have Dirk Nowitzki. Yeah, man. I mean, Dirk Nowitzki's not going to leave the Dallas Mavericks ever. Like, he would, of course, want to retire as a Maverick, but at this point, it's like the team is in a full-on rebuild, and I think Mark Cuban and the team in general just need to say, okay, we have Dennis Smith Jr., this is the future of our team. You're taking up a power forward starting spot that could be used for somebody else, a roster spot, and, you know, in the end of the day, it's like this team's not going to contend next season, so it's just time to maybe retire. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comment section below. What do you guys think about this list right there? Shout out again to my man. Sorry, dude, I thought I forgot your name, man. It's just like I have a very bad memory. Shout out to my man. Yeah, Joshua Driscoll for another awesome article. I love reading these just because it's fun to give you guys my opinion and see other people's perspective. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.